A very good morning, class 11th. So, here is our second topic from the chapter Locomotion and Movement. Yesterday, we discussed the types of muscles, right? We discussed about three types of muscles in detail, that is the skeletal muscles, and then we talked about our smooth muscles, visceral muscles, and then cardiac muscles. So today we are going to take in detail the structure of the skeletal muscle fibers. As even everybody of you now know that skeletal muscles, they are known as the striated muscles also. Striated muscles means they have two kinds of striations, that dark bands are visible and then light portion, dark and light. So these dark bands, we were calling them as the A band, and light portion, light band, is known as I band. That are also, A band is for anisotropic and I band is the isotropic. That we are going to take it the structure, that what is their importance. As these muscles, why I am calling them as a fibers, because as these skeletal muscles, they are not short in their length, they are long, they are unbranched. So because of their structure, because of their length, which is arranged very, they are very long in length, so that is why they are known as muscle fibers. That is why we are saying that we are going to discuss structure of skeletal muscle fibers. Now see, this is the structure that we have to discuss today, one by one, each and every point. So I'm going to start with the first thing. As you can see, first we have to draw this the basic baselines. Then these muscles, as they have two types of the bands. Now in this is this, as you can see, small dots, I have these blue dots I have marked here, that is known as our sarcoplasm. This is known as our sarcoplasm. और sarcoplasm किसके अंदर होगा? मसल सेल के अंदर. सो ये जो लेयर है हमारी, this layer which we have drawn here, first we will draw this layer, and this layer is known as our plasma membrane. And what is the plasma membrane? That is known as here is sarcolemma. And these whole rest of the portion is covered with cytoplasm, and cytoplasm is known as sarcoplasm. Basically this whole जो portion जिसके अंदर हम सारा structure बनाने वाले हैं, that is known as your cytoplasm of the muscle fiber is known as sarcoplasm. So two things. First is the sarcolemma, which is the plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane, and this is the sarcoplasm. Now sarcoplasm, this sarcocytoplasm of muscle fiber, it it has large number of parallelly arranged filaments, and these filaments we are calling them as the myofilaments. As you can see that we have drawn green and purple color filaments, these are known as myofibrils or myofilaments. मायोफिब्रिल्स भी बोलते हैं इनको, मायोफिलामेंट्स भी बोलते हैं. नाउ these myofibrils, they has alternate dark and light portion, or you can say dark and light band in it. Due to this dark and light portion or dark and light bands, we are calling these whole structure as the striated. That is why these muscle fibers, they are known as striated. अभी तक हमने क्या ड्रॉ किया है? अभी तक हमने ये प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन ड्रॉ की है, और इसके अंदर यहाँ पे हमने what we have drawn? We have drawn the sarcoplasm. This membrane is known as sarcolemma, and this is known as sarcoplasm. Now light band. What is a light band now? Light band, जो कि ग्रीन कलर के बैंड्स दिख रहे हैं आपको, ये ग्रीन कलर के बैंड्स we have drawn here parallelly, right? As you can see, these green color bands, these are our light bands, and these are having our protein, that is actin. और as you see that purple वाले मैंने थोड़े से मोटे बनाए हैं, white बनाए हैं, thick बनाए हैं as compared to these lighter ones. Light bands, they are thin filaments. They are, आप इसको और भी thin बना सकते हो, this much is sufficient. They are thin filaments and they are having actin. They light हैं तो they will be known as, so these light bands, they are known as I band. Light bands are known as I band. Now here in the middle area we have drawn thick filaments. We have to draw these thick filaments, and these thick filaments, they are called our A bands. कौन सा band है ये? इसको यहाँ पे लिखेंगे हम. This is our myosin. This contain myosin and they are thicker and they are known as A band. Right, dark bands basically. Dark band, they contain myosin and they are known as they have thick filaments and they are known as A bands, anisotropic bands. Now this they are our first primary myofibril, and they are in are also these thin filaments, they are secondary myofibril. Basically we can say that myofibrils or sarcoplasm, it contain two types of myofibrils. कौन कौन से? Lighter, light and dark, right? Or you can say primary, we can say it primary and secondary, right? Light and dark. So primary and secondary myofibrils. Now these, if we look at the diagram very carefully, then just look at this. These are the actin, and in between them there is a present myosin. So this myosin, it is covered by actin, or you can say this actin is covered by surrounded by myosin. So this is the 2D diagram, but जब हम 3D में देखते हैं, so how this is arranged? So this is our one myosin, and every one myosin, it is covered by 6 actin, 6 actins proteins, right? This is covered by 6 actins. Now again let's draw one more. There is one more myosin. This is another myosin. Now let's count the actin. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So as you can see, this is also covered by 6 actins. This is another myosin. It is covered by, again let's recall, 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So what we can say there, that each myosin is surrounded by 6 actins, or you can say that each actin is surrounded by 3 myosin. Both the things are correct. Either you can say that each myosin is surrounded by 6 actin, or each actin is surrounded by 3 myosin. Now complete length. Now we will go for the if we what do you call A band? A band actually क्या है? Look here, this purple color, look there, that यहाँ से हमारा start होता है myosin और ये यहाँ जाता है. So this complete length of myosin, it is known as A band. Now at the end portion, as you can see, there is the overlapping between at the end portion. Just look at the end portion. Here is the overlapping between actin and myosin with each other. So there is one area in the center where no overlapping between actin and myosin, and this area is known as H band, or hence इसको बोलते हैं हेनसेनी लाइन, हेनसेंस लाइन, हेनसेंस लाइन. Basically, this is the name of the scientist. It is known as Hensen's line, H band. Again, listen to me very carefully. Look at this. This is the, let's draw it with again purple color. This complete myosin length, it is known as A band. But ये complete length में there is the few portion जहाँ पे actin myosin they are overlapping with each other. But in the center there is a structure, there is an area which is found where there is no overlapping. Only the myosin is there. That portion is called H band, right? So H band क्या हो गया? Where only and only myosin is present, it is called H band. Okay. Next comes to the your sarcomere. Okay, now as you can see there I have drawn here these two red lines. और ये मैंने two red lines कहाँ पे draw की हैं? If you look here carefully, I have drawn them in the center of our actin, or you are calling them as the I band. I band के center से जो these red color lines जो आपको नज़र आ रही हैं, these are bisecting. Basically इसको center में से bisect करती हैं ये. These are known as, this is our elastic fiber. This is our one elastic fibers and it is called Z line. So here this you can see there are two Z lines which are bisecting these from these actin filaments, these green lines which we have drawn here, actin filaments, or you can call them as the I bands from the center. मतलब बेसिकली सेंटर से अलग करना उसको. सो दैट इज़ द जेड लाइन. नाउ ये जेड लाइन देन अनदर जेड लाइन, इनके बीच में जो डिस्टेंस है दैट इज़ नोन एज सार्कोमियर. जहाँ जहाँ मेरा मार्कर जा रहा है वहीं वहीं देखना बस. जेड लाइन, वन जेड लाइन, दिस इज़ अनदर एक्टिन फिलामेंट, उसके बीच में भी जेड लाइन. दीज आर द इलास्टिक फाइबर बेसिकली. सो जो लेंथ है from one Z line to another Z line, it is known as sarcomere, and this is the contractile unit of muscle because these are our elastic fibers. They are the basic contractile unit of muscle. So if question MCQ question asked to you what is the main contraction unit of muscle, it is the sarcomere. और sarcomere क्या है? Distance between two Z lines. This much is clear. Now the another important point that here, as you can see that blue structure I have drawn near to plasma membrane. हमें मालूम है, I think मेरे बताने से पहले आपको पता हो जाना चाहिए कि ये क्या अरेंज किया है मैंने. That is our nuclei, because muscle fibers they are of multinucleate. That is why we are calling them as syncytium also, right? That is why they are known as syncytium. So there are the many nuclei which are arranged along the sarcolemma. Sarcolemma क्या है? Plasma membrane of muscle fiber, and these are the multinucleate structure. Now there is another storage house of calcium we discussed here. Let's draw here. I have drawn already. So here is we cannot draw proper structure. So you can draw these network structures here. They are present all over the complete structure of muscle fiber. So these network structure, it is known as sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. And sarcoplasmic reticulum, it is a reservoir of calcium. Now there is another structure I have drawn here. Can you see these tubules, these fibers like structure coming from upper to the lower portion? Fibers, tubule like structure which are coming from the upper. These structures, if we are drawing it here like this, they are coming from upper to the lower area, then upper to the lower. So these are known as our T-tubules. T-tubules, they help in proper spreading of signal. Signal कहाँ generate होता है? Sarcolemma से signal generate होगा. This signal will transported equally properly spreaded by the T tubules. So basically ये infolds हैं, you can say them, these are the infolds of sarcolemma. Plasma membrane से ऐसे infoldings जो निकल के आ रही हैं, these are known as our T tubules. Now there is a dense structure, there is a dense protein present in the middle. It is known as Mline. It is a dense connection. It is a made of skeletal protein, very very dense connection, and it is made up of protein, and this protein is known as Mline, right? So this is the structure which how it is look like. So this is the muscle fiber. As you can see, this is the darker area, dark bands, and there is the light portion. Dark band, they are the A bands, anisotropic band, and light portion is I band. Then there are the multinucleated structures. Now look at this is our endoplasmic reticulum, जो हमने अपनी फिगर में ऐसे ऐसे नेटवर्क ड्रॉ किया है, that is the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the storage house of calcium. Then there are the thin filaments. थिन फिलामेंट्स तो हमें मालूम ही है, थिन फिलामेंट्स क्या है? एक्टिन फिलामेंट्स. एक्टिन फिलामेंट्स, इट मीन्स दे आर आवर आई बैंड्स. एंड then there is the between these actin filaments there is the central. As you can see, this is one actin, then there is the another actin. उनके बीच में जो line इनको dissect करती है, dissect, that is Z. It is Z, and distance between one Z to another Z, it is known as sarcomere, right? Then there is an area, ये वाला center area, जहाँ पे कोई भी actin present नहीं है. कौन present है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ myosin. This is known as H band, and there are, these are, as you can see, these are our thick filaments. So these are our myosin filament. So thick filaments, they are myosin, and thin filaments, they are actin filaments. So this is all about the structure of our muscle fibers, right? So go through this structure very very carefully, right? And please मेरा थोड़ी सी जो space है, that is a little bit congested here, but you can draw it in the little broad version, then all your structure will be easily visible, right? So next we will talk about the contractile proteins in detail.